Welcome to another UC Trend session here at UC Today. My name is David Dungay, and today I am joined by Dhwani Soni, VP of Product Management, Design and Operations at 8x8. Welcome to the show, Dhwani. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. So today we're going to be talking about the convergence of UCaaS and CCaaS, something that's been happening for quite some time in our markets, with varying success, I might add. But we're going to be talking about what that means today for businesses as we move into 2024. But before we get into that conversation, Dwani, do you want to give us a bit of an overview of yourself and the business?
Sure. I mean, it's very straightforward. Like you said, I've been with 8x8. Right now, I'm leading product management and design operations here, and it's been a fantastic ride so far. Yeah, and the exciting times ahead, like you're saying about the convergence of UCaaS and CCaaS industry. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Great. Well, let's get straight into that first question then. Uh, let's set the scene. What is the landscape like today? What are you seeing from a convergence point of view between UCAS and CCAS? And, I'm seeing a lot of providers talking about it. I'm not quite as sure on how many are actually truly delivering it. Dhwani, what are your thoughts?
So yeah, there is this thing that's going on in the industry, and I think the convergence is just a way to say it. What we at 8 by 8 are looking at is like, um, again, going by the persona, the use case, right? So there are these people who sit outside the contact center. They're not agents, and their job description is also to service the customers. But that's not like 24 hours of the day, right? So they serve the customers at their own terms and their own time, when they choose to do whichever channel they choose to do. So there's a lot of flexibility to actually give an optimized experience. They do need some features from the traditional contact center side. So that's where that convergence that people start talking about starts to become a little bit real. There are vendors out in the industry who have optimized some products, I would say, which are very persona centric, or it could be very vertical centric. But I think that's the closest I've seen. I haven't really seen a true product which can bring the capabilities of traditional UC and traditional CC brought together in one.
Yeah. So let's talk about the customer side. You mentioned customers there. What is really driving this preference at the minute? What's driving the need for this kind of all-in-one UCAS CCAS platform right now?
So I'd like to. I know we're talking about customer experience. I would like to break it into two, right? So there's a user in that customer base, and then there's a customer as a customer in who wants value for the ROI for the money, right? So from a user perspective, is definitely to serve the customer. So they want to have a unified UI, single pane of glass essentially, and it should be purpose built for their needs. It should also be sprinkled with the right delightful experience that keeps them engaged with their customers, and that UI optimizes their workflows in a way that integrates in the infrastructure that they brought in, the different tools that they need to use, and deliver that seamlessly. That's extremely important. So that's from a user preference standpoint. From a customer standpoint, right? So um, now this customer engagement is thriving as good inside CC as well as outside CC. So there is now a need as a customer who is buying from 8 by 8 from any vendor. At some point, they're gonna be like, "Hey, where's the ROI? How am I seeing that? Sure, my agent is serving the customers. Tell me if the customer sat is improving overall, right?" So trying to now bring those customer centric views into their hands, bring the platform wide analytics cradle to grave across UC and CC, which is not that easy, right? So bring that goodness together and start talking about platform wide ROI that they can get. That's where the meaningful will be for the customers.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's talk about that ROI then. Are we seeing meaningful ROI? I often look at these trends in the market and think, oh, that sounds like that is going to really supercharge CX. But what kind of ROI is the customer actually getting from that? Can we quantify that? And for those customers that have made that leap, where are the areas where they're really getting those gains from an ROI perspective?
So I would have said low hanging fruit, but it's not that it's not super easy to do. So data is number one, and data is vast, right? So you can make it as low hanging as possible, but you can go as deep in it as you want to, right? So data is number one. Being able to bring the right customer journey from that data is really augmenting that data and bringing value from that. And the value of this data really becomes meaningful when, when a customer can see the end-to-end interaction journey powered with all any other customer data that they might have from CRM or wherever that they might have to bring in a very comprehensive view. Now imagine now you add in the AI to it. So now your data is on steroids essentially. So you're now using, if you're using the right LLM, you're using the right AI bots, you're tuning them right, they are efficient. You are now bringing so much value. And at some point, I would like to believe that the reporting is going to become a thing of the past. Monitoring will become way more important. Optimization and insights around optimization are going to be way more important than just being able to send out, generate those reports out, right? So now we're starting to get into user and business centric KPIs at this point. Customer health score, topic analysis, bot to bot analysis, bot to human analysis, efficiency metrics for the platform. This is where we will be able to actually deliver the true ROI for the investment in any of these like customer communication platforms that our customers buy.
So for those customers or those viewers watching today, a lot of them will be sitting there and they've made UCU or UCAS investments and contact center or CCAS investments, and they might be looking at this thinking, how do I get from where I am today? How do I make that step? Into this converged kind of platform world. I mean, what are the major sort of considerations for those businesses, to consider before making this quite big step?
It's I absolutely a big step, and our research says it's like people who are trying to do this kind of digital transformation, and they're putting their careers on the line, right? So as my number one, and it's nothing to do with actually features or any of those things. Like simply just take a look at that vendor and look at the commitment to the customer, right? As a chief digital transformation officer, see where the vendor's commitment to your digital transformation needs and those synergies match or not, right? And is the vendor able to serve the customer that way, right? What is the investment in their R&D look like? Their commitment to an ability to deliver on the ROIs, right? So take a look at the past. How have they been? And how much investment are they doing in innovation? That's really, really important because AI is like electricity. It's going to change the world, right? And it's already happening. So it's not something that we need to just sit down and noodle on it. It's we have to now see where it takes us, and it'll be very accelerated at this point. So make sure and obviously make sure the product works, the use cases work for you. You're not looking for like, don't try and get into this feature game by feature game analysis, but actually look at the features that you need or use cases that you need that solve for your business, and go for the partnership that the vendor can provide you.
Yeah. And what about from a kind of an in-house skill point of view? And is there hidden cost there for these businesses that take on this kind of converged platform play? Whether that be sort of from a training perspective or a management perspective. What kind of costs are there?
That's actually a good question. I I I like to believe like a good vendor should be able to provide a lot of these things out of the box. If you're not in that game of feature by feature and building use cases, these things are understood at the level of needs, requirements, experience that we want to give to our customer or the end user, the persona. So they should be available out of the box. Now, there should always be a team, a PS, professional services team available if you need some customizations, but majority of the time you shouldn't need more than 20 or 15%. Most of the product should be well suited for you to be able to use. On top of that, if the product comes with a great UI, that's amazing because now the content is right there, the workflows are plugged in, the user experience is delightful, it takes a mental load off. Now you're starting to see all these user generated centric AI centric insights in the UI because it's now CCAS and UCAS together, right? In fact, even documentation, I believe, as a function needs to be reimagined. So now you're in the realm of a product whether you're deploying it as a first time out of box experience, whatever that might be, the next best suggestion or the self service with AI and documentation on AI will become super powerful. So there's a lot of reimagination that can happen. And at this point, all of these should just actually come out of the box from an experience standpoint.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about 8x8 specifically now. You're bringing all this convergence to life for your customers. Maybe you could talk to us about how you're doing that and how you're bringing this kind of converged story to life for the industry and for your markets.
Yeah, so we are right now in a very exciting next 12 to 18 months. And we are like, we have a very solid research team, a design org that has been engaging with all these customer facing roles outside of contact center, right? And then what does it really mean to bring that experience together from a customer engagement standpoint? So we're evaluating that. There's a significant investment that's gone in. We will be bringing out a product hopefully soon, which is geared towards these engagement outside of contact center for these users which live on their own terms. And there's a significant investment that's gone in from the innovation standpoint to deliver ROI to customers who portfolio buy from us, right? So not just one, multiple products. And we have already spoken about our ecosystem, the technology partner ecosystem. We have made the seamless experience to actually use the best of breed AI ML technology that you need along with our platform. That's huge. Now couple it throughout our entire portfolio, UCaaS, CCaaS, everything. You get everything under the sun there, right? There's another thread of work, which is a lot of exciting work, bringing this platform-wide optimization that I've been talking about, business KPIs for our customers, because that's where they start to see a lot of ROI and a lot of good innovation, exciting work coming out soon.
Great. So, Dhwani, we're almost at the end of our conversation today, but I want to ask you one last question, and that's what you're expecting from the future. We've seen all this convergence. It seems to be it's always happening convergence, isn't it, in our markets? But how are you expecting that story to change over the coming year? Will it change even? What are your thoughts there?
That's a really fun and exciting question as well. So I feel that okay, we've been already moving from an on-prem era to cloud and now to AI, right? So I feel a lot of processes will get reimagined. Like even with on-prem and shift to cloud, people how they used to do business technology, there are best practices to do it with cloud. Similarly, there'll be best practices, right? I also believe that with AI getting embedded everywhere, it will start to make some current features, current needs pretty obsolete. And that will be interesting to see, I think. Um, we're already noodling a lot on this, and I believe that as people start to see this convergence, like for example, UC and CC coming together, like uh, how the interaction, the IVR works, or how people expect calls to be transferable end-to-end analytics, all of this will become very table stakes at this point, right? So products will need to be truly converged to deliver that. And
Yeah.
I think there will also be, I think the last bit that I'm thinking is it's not just a convergence of UC and CC at this point. We will start to see convergence of different industries coming together, like at least the best parts of there, right? Think about goodness from different industries like data management, systems, CRMs, multi experience data platforms, security, content marketing platforms, customer data platforms. The moment you bring the best of breed from all of this into this converged UCCC world, oh my God, put AI on top of it. It's going to be fantastic. So I think that's something so exciting to look forward to.
Yeah, it certainly is a fascinating world, and AI does make everything even more fascinating, I feel, as well. So, look, Dhwani, thank you so much for joining me and sharing some of your insights.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure and great talking to you.
And thank you for watching. You've been watching me, David Dungay, on UC Trends. If you'd like to follow all the rest of our Trends series, you can do so on social media by using the UC Trends 24 hashtag. That's it from me. See you next time.